Hi guys, it's Hayley here with another scrapbooking video. I saw a awesome sketch over on the October afternoon blog and I pulled out these papers which are from the Girl Talk or Daily Flash Girl Talk and thought that they would be good to use. And I had some teeny pictures that went with the sketch of 4 little off to the side photos. And I pulled out another bone. Oh, this all goes together. This is the Daily Flash Hearts and Stars chipboard, and there's a 6x8 pack that goes with the Girl Talk, and then just some bits and pieces that I've been wanting to use. This background is just basil craft. I quite often use a different craft, a darker one, because it's cheap. I prefer this one, so since I bought this, I've just been using it non-stop. The other one I can get in packets of 50 for not very much, so I do tend to use that more, but I prefer the lighter one. This ampersand paper is called Giggle, and it's from that range. I really did like this range. It wasn't until I saw it in person that I thought, yeah, I will have some of that. Okay, so I'm just lining up these pictures so they have similar weight, visual weight. And now I'm just rummaging through this pack. These packs, they're just all paper items. These paper packs, 6x8 paper packs I think they're called. But they do have little bits and embellishment-y type layering pieces, which is awesome. And I'd previously cut out some feathers from one of the other papers in the collection, so I just put anything back in there. Excuse that beeping if you can hear that. That's one of my children's tablets doing something on its own. Okay, so that piece is, that green piece that I'm adding there, that's from that pack. So it's a 6x8 cut in half. And now I'm just searching, pulling out the odd bits. Really like that pink wood grain, but I didn't need it. So I'm going to make a wee cluster up in the top left. Now I will put a link to the blog in my blog and in the notes bit of this video. I was going to upload it but to their feed, but I think you have to put it through Twitter or something. No, Flickr, and I can never remember my passwords to those things, so it's too hard. So I'll give credit and you can pop over there, but they make it too hard. I'm too lazy is the problem. Okay, so here I've got 2 stamps. The bottom one that says I love this is a Studio Calico stamp, and the round one that says Wild Thing is a Freckled Fawn stamp. And now I think I'm trying to, oh no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to chop up these little tiny bits to use as wee embellishments as well, because they're cute. And I've got an idea for that wee deer that's sitting there on my desk. I have an idea for him. Not for this page. Okay, so I'm going to stamp on this green portion, and I always put, I've had that stamp, that foamy stamp pad thing for so many years. It's got my children's teeth marks in it from when they were little and teething. It's got like a perfectly round imprint of their teeth. It's been around a while. I have no idea where I got that, but it is awesome, and it does make a difference to your impression. I think a lot of people use mouse pads and things like that. Old mouse pads, you know, the foamy ones. And I'm just looking here for something to stamp that Wild Thing on. And it was too hard. I was finding things I liked, but like too much to use just for that. So it's a matter of priorities. So I'm just going to use a portion of this ampersand square that's got a pink diagonal stripe. And these stamps are usually really, really good. I had one wee area that wouldn't pick up the ink, and I haven't had any trouble with those stamps, so I think maybe there's just something. I don't clean my stamps, so therein lies the issue. I figure if Tim Holtz doesn't clean his stamps, I don't need to clean my stamps. People clearly care what he does, and clearly care that about his artwork. No one really cares about the quality of mine, so I don't need to clean mine. In actual fact, they stamp pretty much the same even if I do. So this one's easily fixed though, because the bit that didn't show up is just black, so I just colour it in with my pen. So there we go, magic, see? You'd never know. And I'm just going to pop this up on some foam. I have these foam sheets. They're probably about maybe 6 by 8. They're called Magic Mount. I don't know if they're available everywhere or whether it's just a Australasia thing. Now this is my very last Carol Bateski Amy Tangerine foam title. I loved these things. I really did. This one was this happened was kind of a little bit harder to use, but I really like those. I like the boldness of them. I love typography. So, no, they're one of my favourite things. I don't think I could use another packet unless they were different words. Okay, so there I've just added a chipboard heart, and now I'm just chopping off half the foam to make sure the bit that overlaps the heart sits flat against it, and the other half is held up by the foam. Now I'm going to work on that upper left corner, and I quite often just place the first base piece, like the XOXO piece, off the page and then just trim it, just because it gives it more of a natural look rather than if it was perfectly lined up. And then these wee feathers, I cut them out for something, I can't remember, and I was going to use them, because if you've gone to the trouble to cut something out, you should really find a place for it. Even the partial ones, I just tuck them underneath and make it look like it's supposed to look like that. And the two over top, the yellow and the green, I'm just off putting foam on them, I think. Oh, here I am, getting the foam. I really like those foam sheets because I can cut, I am a wee bit liberal with the foam, but I can cut it to fit anything really. I do have lots of the little itty bitty ones and you know, the little squares and things, but I do like those sheets. Okay, so I'm just going to add some of these little pieces. I should tell you about the photo. There's an idea. These photos are of my children. This is on Easter when it was school holidays for us, and I'm one of those parents that doesn't allow fun things like nail polish and weird hairstyles and anything like that during term time, so I won't allow anything that I think is inappropriate during school time. So they've been waiting and waiting to try this hair chalk, and I'd heard lots of stories about it staining, especially like lighter hair, like Sophia's hair is quite blonde and like leaving a stain, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go there. And I think they've been given like 2 or 3 lots, and I thought, oh, okay, let's do it. I even did the cat, as you can see. Skulls, that's our cat. He's got a big green stripe down his back and he looks suitably unimpressed. And they looked hilariously awful, really. It's Gabby looked a bit like a clown gone wrong, and Sophia looked a bit like a Rainbow Bright. Olivia thought she looked like a rocker, like a rock star, like she knows what rock stars look like, really. And what was really funny was the next week they went back to school, and in Discovery, which is something they do, they get to try lots of things on a Friday morning. In Discovery, they coloured their hair with hair chalk. Here's me going on about how it's not appropriate for school, and then they do it at school. I mean, okay, I've got no credibility now, but that's okay. And so all these children come into assembly with their hair coloured. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not super conservative, but I do care about how they groom themselves for school. Okay, so I just added then some My Mind's Eye little sticker words. I think they're from those 4 packs. I think it was Mildred. And now I'm just adding some of those ones are my mind's eye enamel dots, but the wee heart that went next to the this happened, and a couple of the pink dots, they were from the pop drops from October Afternoon. I think they were the Christmas ones. Eggnog, I think. And that looks like that's, oh no, I haven't journaled. That's not the page. I haven't journaled. So yes, so the girls thought it was hilarious that Hero was saying no, they can't do it, we're not doing it. And then they went to school and did it. Awesome. But yeah, it was harmless enough, and they haven't actually, it washed out really well and it wasn't a big deal, but they haven't wanted to do it again. I think it was just the novelty of, oh well, we've never done that. So yeah. And I really like how this page turned out. I really liked, I thought the title and the embellishment pieces balanced out with the photos. It really is one of my favourite ones from lately, and super simple. I mean, you could do it with 1 6x4 too, and I think that would be effective as well if it was the right photo. But here I am just generally waffling on in my journaling. I journal a lot usually. The odd page I've noticed that since I've been doing videos I haven't journaled on, and it's just because I'm aware I'm videoing and I've just forgotten. So I've had to go back and add that, which is kind of funny because the story is really important to me. So it's like I've shifted my focus temporarily while I'm trying to get a handle on this videoing thing. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's come over and watched and has subscribed, because I really thought maybe a couple of friends and an odd family member would come and subscribe, and I've been really touched. It's really kind, and I've had some wonderful feedback, and I will get better, hopefully. And yeah, I just want to say I really appreciate it, especially all the girls that on Facebook, on Nicole Jones 911, and on the Scrap Stash Kit Club page. You guys are awesome, and those two communities have been really good for me. Since 2P's closed, we're all kind of floundering around. So that is the page this time, with the journaling complete. And I think, oh, I do give you some close-ups. That's good. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I forget. And it's the crazy kids. And then I think there will be some stills, and that will be the end of it. So thanks so much, and I will see you again for another video soon.